Welcome to the Talking Sport Report podcast with Scotty and Eggo. Unbelievable!
G'day and welcome to the Talking Sport Report. My name is Eggo. Joining me, the man, the myth, the legend, maybe a local sporting legend, I guess. Scootus, how are you, sir?
Mate, happy Sunday. What an introduction.
Yeah.
That really amped me up. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Well, I know last week you were a little bit upset, So I just wanted to make sure you were well amped for tonight's podcast. We do this every Sunday night. We get on and we like to focus. There's a lot of world sport happening. We're very much Newcastle and Hunter Valley boys. So we like to tailor make our content towards that area of the world. Which is why, Scotty, tonight we're going to talk about NRL. We're going to talk about throwing of dildos. We're going to talk about some classic cricketing commentary and what's happening right now in the world of cricket. But we are going to start at the top with our new segment we've been launching about local legends. And last week, basically what we want to do is we want people, and you can email in if you're listening to this right now, talkingsportreport@gmail.com. Email us those local legend stories that you know of, or maybe you're a part of one. Maybe you are the local legend. Those stories where you almost have to tell it and you sort of think, is it believable? Did that really happen? Because generally the answer is no, but that doesn't matter. Do not let the truth get in the way of a good story. And, so if there is someone out there who's a local legend that you know of, please email us, let us know. Now, last week we kicked it off talking about my grandfather who,
I had a little bit of feedback, actually.
This is very interesting.
Two things. One came from a good friend of ours, Jimmy.
Well, you better tell a bit of the story first.
So that's right. Eggo's grandfather, many, many moons ago in old Hexham there, decided to go out and win a grand final for Rezzies, played the full 80 minutes. What did you say? Hooker.
Yeah, number 12 in those days.
Wow. And then decided to go and get on the tins, but after one or two, he got the tap on the shoulder. And first grade, for some reason, their hooker hasn't shown up. And he's gone out and doubled up and another 80 minutes and went back to back. 2 premierships in the one day. Fantastic effort. But there was the afters of that you mentioned. So apparently he had a lot of kids.
Yeah, well, my father has got 5 siblings, so they had 6. They had 6 kids.
And you said there's not a lot to do in Hexham except drink, play football, and fuck.
Essentially,
so,
well, what else are you going to do?
Jimmy, good friend of the show, sent me a message. Just straight up, didn't beat around the bush. Just hit me with, do you think Eggo's grandfather was hung? Oh, fuck, well, if he's getting on as often as he was, I don't think he's walking around with a little todger.
Well, one thing, he wasn't a short man, but his father was like, I reckon, like over 6'2", 6'3". He would have been well equipped. Whether or not it carries down, I would like to say it does, but it doesn't. It hasn't carried down a couple of generations. So let's hope he's packing more than I am.
The second one was just after your comments about, not a lot to do except drink and fuck and things like that, and talking about throwing the leg over. I done an impromptu trip to Sydney on Saturday.
You're married.
Jake. I coach Jake's daughter in soccer.
Okay.
We went down to a card show and he just straight up hit me with, fuck, was Eggo horny on Sunday or what? Because it was very sexually charged.
Was it?
So, mate, fucking, it was noticeable. I didn't want to say anything.
I never thought of my grandfather in that way, but maybe there's something. I mean, there's something wrong with us as a family. We've got issues. There's some big issues around like my uncle has probably the number one candidate for the biggest lot of issues. Andrew up in the Gold Coast.
Without question.
You've met him.
Yeah.
He's mad.
Great bloke. Great bloke.
But
my
God.
God.
Be the first to admit it. He tells a story that we come across here as convicts on the boat from England. And when we got here, we'd already hijacked the boat and we actually walked off as admirals.
That's brilliant.
So we weren't
fucking hell.
But no, I don't think I was horny, but I mean, who knows? Let's be honest. When you get close to 40, Scotty, it's like
Get a bit of
today.
Bit of blood down there. You got to throw it around a little bit.
That's it.
So I teased a local legend story last week.
Very interested.
So this actually takes me back some years ago. It was probably my second or third game in charge as skipper.
The Captain Scotty days.
Yeah. So this was back in 2006, 19 years ago. So you and I would have been 18, 19. Or 19, 18. 18, 19. 19, 18 is the same thing. It's just the other way around. So I've been skipper for, there you go, round 7. This is my 7th game in charge.
Yeah, that is early.
You've given me a buzz at about 7:30 in the morning. Oh, what's going on? You're like, I've just got home. I've been out. I'm just at the front gate at mum and dad's. I'm walking down the driveway. Now, that's not a small walk.
That is
That's a trek. Living on a farm, horses, all that stuff. That's a fair trek. You'd had an absolute ripper of a night. We've gone down the bottom oval. We're playing against Wes, and I've won the toss. We've decided to have a bat. You've hit me with, can you send me in down the order? I'm like, mate, the lowest I can put you is probably going to be 6. As soon as we went out, you've thrown everything on, gone and sat in the car, and you've fallen asleep. You're not well. You smell like an absolute fucking brewery. You're not well. I thought, yeah, this is good. Eggo will get some sleep in, get a few hours. He'll be right. Anyway, you're coming in at 6. Our fall of wickets, 1 for 7, 2 for 8, 3 for 15, 4 for 15, 5 for 16, 6 for 26. Jeez, you're in at that point.
Hardly had a chance to have a sleep in that.
You're in at that point. You are in. Long story short, you are not well. You can tell. You must be seeing about 8 cricket balls coming at you.
I was probably still drunk.
To look at this, at 6 for 26, we have been rolled for 191, which is good.
26, and we got 191. Yeah, wow.
So at some point, the tail's probably wagged. Nah. A completely munted, still drunk Eggo has gone out and scored 120 runs.
My maiden, my first ever test 100.
He has hit 21 4s and 3 6s. And the best part about that was Nico Pete stuck around, got 7 not out to help you score that 100. He scored 7 not out.
He was in 11, right? He came in 11.
Yeah, come in at 11. You and him put on 44 for the last wicket, and he scored 7 of them.
Well, that was critical, that 7 he scored, because correct me if I'm wrong, I would have fell well short.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever played drunk again, and that shows because you've only scored 100 since.
Yeah, that's true.
And then if anyone's curious on the result, got washed out the next week for day 2.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
That has always stood out. Someone is completely munted, asleep in their car. They've had to be woken, sent out, and has gone out and scored 120 of the 191 we were dismissed for.
I remember Grant Clackety, who's one of our school friends who was playing. I think he might have been playing in the game.
Yeah, he was. I think he got a duck.
Yeah, and he said to me, all right, well, I'm going to go up and get some fish and chips. And I when I come back, I expect you to be back in this car, but just out.
Yeah. He got a duck. So, yeah, opener got 5. Then there was a duck.
I didn't run much. I don't think I ran much that day.
No, you didn't. Not hitting 21 4s and 3 6s.
Yeah, I think like over 100 of my 120 were in boundaries.
102.
Understandably,
102 of them.
It was either boundary or it was a big no.
Yep. Yeah. That's that has always stood out to me. But we got another submission.
Yeah, you got one sent in.
I did. I received a message at 9:25 this morning.
Oh, beautiful.
Now I don't know if he'd slept or if he's still awake after a few, but it's come from Jimmy.
Oh, that man, Jimmy.
Yes.
We almost need to credit Jimmy as the third host in this show soon.
Well, he gets vocal. He sends the feedback. He absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
So he sent me one this morning. There's a story from a couple of years ago involving a tiny football club that reached heights never seen before. To Nambot All-Age A Division. The season had it all. From being down 2-0 in their first game of the season away to Uni to win the game 3-2, all the way to winning the grand final on a cold night in Singleton. You name it, this season had it. With an average age of late 30s, comfortably the oldest team in the district, there is nothing the team couldn't do. Leading the competition halfway through the season, only to wake up one Saturday morning and have had all their points deducted. The exact reason for the boys having lost all their points is still up for debate, but needing to win every game after the points deduction was taken seriously, and beating the newly top of the table Bulwarra with only 9 players the next Friday was the perfect start. Suspensions and more injuries than the 2025 South Sydney Rabbitohs, nothing could stop the little club that could. After taking the league to the High Court, may not have actually happened, and winning points back with 1 round to go, ultimately won the club its first minor premiership A-grade title.
Wow.
Qualifying final didn't go to plan, missing a penalty and going on to lose, meaning we'd have to do it the hard way. Played at Fields End Oval for a place in the grand final the week later. Boys put in a mammoth effort in front of a capacity crowd. The game went to penalties after the sides could not be split after 120 minutes. The Sharks don't do things easy. However, in the shootout, they were clinically brilliant, scoring all their penalties and Gresford missing one, which I believe was picked up in the quarry only a week ago. The grand final week was massive for the Sharks, sticking to its training schedule of not training a single session the whole season. The prep was faultless. However, with 2 suspensions and 2 key figures attending a Friday night wedding, absolute shambles. Who gets married on a Friday? Jimmy actually did at one point, but that's not the point.
That's not the point, no.
With no less than 5 others out injured, the boys turned up to Singo. Going down 1-0 early, it was set up how the boys liked it. Coming from behind to win 2-1 and cement their place into Nambot Sharks history. It's still spoken about around the traps to this day, and the silly Saturday/Sunday did not disappoint. Few beers, few arts and crafts, and a club that went against all odds to win the double. The boys backed up the next year to go back-to-back, but the first one for a tiny club in the Hunter was truly remarkable. Go the Sharks.
That is quality. Taking it and not like Jimmy to want it like it from behind. That is exactly the kind of stuff I expect from Jimmy. That is high quality content.
I was involved in that side actually, and the best part was we had an absolute fantastic.
What were you doing?
Warm the bench.
Oh, you did so you weren't keeping?
No, we had Corey in the team, and he's a fantastic keeper. Good.
Hey, sell yourself short. You were a good, very, very good keeper.
Oh, once upon a time.
You just had really, really large calf muscles. I used to always about them. They really large, which meant cramps would strike you for 3 days straight.
So I was in goal when we were 2-0 down in that first game, and then I did, and then I sat on the bench for probably 90% of the season. Actually, I was set to start game 2, our second round fixture, and I come out.
You almost lost them.
Yeah,
the season.
Definitely.
Jeez.
I come out for warm-up in round 2 and I just passed the ball back to the boys and pulled me quad. Put me out for 2.5 weeks. I did start one game after that. I started a game against maybe Newcastle, Croatia, and we got beat 10-6. So,
look, high-scoring affair. It must have been the pitch. Must have been the pitch. It wouldn't
just a cold Friday night.
Let's just be honest. You could probably blame the midfield for that. Clearly, the midfield on both sides was a rusty gate.
We didn't have a defence at one point.
Well, that's
it got to. I think we were down 8-0 at one point. And brought it back to 8-5. Brought it back to 8-5, and then
right. This is it's not rugby league. It's soccer.
Not rugby league or AFL. It was a ripper season. That's the kind of content we want. I do have one for next week. I do have to pick it apart from Sluggy. But again, it looks like more heroics on the field, not 4 a.m. club pickups. None of that stuff.
Send out a nice SOS though. We still want I feel like my grandfather's story of heroics on the field, has set this up for a great Jimmy story and a great Sluggy story. But we still want the off-field antics as well. So keep both sides of the thing coming. We'd like to do a couple every week. So if you've got a story especially if there's someone who just absolutely bombed your season because of something stupid they did. I'd love to hear that local legend.
That's a good
Wouldn't
one.
that be special? Yeah.
That would be good. So, yeah, imagine that. Imagine being that guy that can't show your face at the pub anymore because
You know what?
fucking derailed everything.
I remember back in the day, someone dropped a game in our St. Peter's local high school, and I'm pretty sure it might have been Thomas Carl. For the rest of eternity, kept telling him he dropped the game.
That's brilliant. So that's what you don't want.
I can't even remember, but I remember him telling someone all the time, "Well, geez, you dropped the series, you dropped the whole season for that one drop catch." Meanwhile, Thomas was bowling off spinners that turned about a quarter of a centimeter. As they say, wickets.
Jesus Christ.
TalkingSportReport@gmail.com. Email through your stories. We'd love to read some next week, and we'll get more local legends from the Newcastle and the Hunter. Look, you know what? We'll even take people outside Newcastle and the Hunter, but more extra points if you are from that area. Let's talk about some sport that's happening around the world. We're loving the NRL right now, so let's get cracking on that, Scotty. I think there's something I've got to bring up with you, mate.
Right.
I think
this makes me nervous.
Yeah, I think you, meaning the Manly Seagulls, have got a lot to and a lot to deal with. I think there's a conspiracy theory.
Right.
There is a conspiracy. Can't even say the word. Conspiracy theory right now.
Yep.
That I think even a New South Welshman has been caught in the crosshairs of. And I think because the Origin series is now done, all bets are off. It comes down to hamstrings.
Oh, the old pork rope.
Yeah,
the old pork rope.
The old pork rope. Right now, you would hate to be a hamstring.
An NRL player's hamstring.
Yeah, or anyone's hand. I feel like there's a pandemic, like COVID-style pandemic, but the hamstrings, and I think it's a New South Wales ambush because right now, if you're a Queensland team, you seem to be. I watched, was it last week or the week before? Herbie Farmworth goes down with a hamstring.
Done his hemi.
Ruined the Dolphins season in a lot of ways, right? Like you don't think they're going to be as good as they could be. He's, he should potentially come back for the finals, but maybe, but that's not good for their season, right? Then in what was almost like if you chuck the Benny Hill theme song behind it, it was like almost like comedy.
Spot on.
A bad pass. The Broncos probably going to score and potentially go up in that game in Melbourne. Throw a bad pass, intercept by Coates. Coates tears off. Adam Reynolds 4 steps into I don't know what he was trying to do. He can't run fast anyways if he was going to catch Coates, but he's just doing the thing where I'm going to run to clock up my GPS tracker and to showcase I'm actually running after these players. Anyway, he gets shot by a sniper.
He grabbed, didn't he?
He pulled up like got shot by 2 snipers, man. He went down, hammy. In the same play, you got Ezra Mam.
Ezra Mam
goes down.
Not Ezra's mum. Ezra Mam.
Yep. Maybe it's all the bags. I don't know if that goes along with why the hamstrings are getting done. But then later, like a couple of sets later, Corey Oates gets a niggle and then at the end of the game goes into a tackle and then boom, his hamstring's gone. So my question is, has New South Wales sent Tom Trbojevic on a mission to Queensland to infect Queensland teams and ruin everybody's hammies?
Is a fucked hemi contagious?
This is germ warfare. I'm going to call. I think New South Wales sides are scared of the Queensland teams. The Broncos were coming in hot.
Yeah,
Maguire essentially. I mean, you could also say Maguire, a double agent, former New South Wales coach working in Queensland. All of a sudden, what gives them the preseason from hell and gets their hammies nice and tight.
Well, it's, you know what? Talk about putting the mick on someone. I was talking to one of the dads at school pickup on Friday, and he was at netball training the afternoon before, and 2 of the dads were just into him. So 2 of the dads are Brisbane supporters, and Terry that I was talking to, he's a Rabbitohs supporter, and he's like, they were into me. The wheels are falling off. Yous are all injured. Yous are a joke. Yous are done. Yous are cooked. And then not even 6 hours later, boom. They've absolutely put the mocker on him. And he said to me, he's like, I can't wait to see him tomorrow. I'm just going to give him shit. He's like, the hamstrings were just, the pork ropes, done. And in all honesty, if a fucked hamstring's contagious, the whole Manly team would be fucked, because that is right now, fucking forget an Origin Series win, forget fucking Dally M. That'll be the highlight of Turbo's career. Fucked hamstring.
Absolutely. He is. I mean, maybe they should send him up there to showcase what not to do with rehab, because he seems to find a way to keep. Like, he could go to sleep and do a hamstring.
So I mean,
crazy though. To see it was comical to see 2 hamstrings done in one play. Was like, I had to laugh. I was sitting there going, "You could have write this." And the fact that
it wasn't even 10 meters between each other, was it?
No, I know. What? So if you don't throw that cutout ball, Brisbane now 3 players better off. That changed the course of the whole season.
Well, I thought, who'd you say at the end? Who done their ankle there at the end?
Well, Coates.
Hemi, sorry, Coates. Honestly thought he was gone earlier.
Yeah.
Because he went down before.
He did an ankle earlier, and you can only go off if you get a hamstring if you're in Brisbane.
It's like they don't have health cover for ankles. It's all hemis now. Their premiums are through the fucking roof. They're gonna have to shop around. Compare to market.com.
Ezra and Mams pushed their premiums up quite far none of them are allowed to drive, but the hamstrings are, mate. If you're a hamstring,
fucked.
You are nervous coming in. It's gonna be
you're niggling already.
Absolutely. Scotty, there's so many fun races right now. We love the wooden spoon race.
And I kind of feel
like today,
it's over.
Did it? I mean, Wayne, did you have to go and ruin it?
Oh, do you know what? I don't even think Wayne ruined it. I honestly think it was the fucking piss poor referee. Now, for those that are religious listeners of ours, they know that we love referees. We love Ashley Klein. We loved his performance in Origin. Never bashed him. No. Always support him. But
you remember that tattoo I got? That tattoo I got on my ass of Ashley?
Ashley, bingo. Big fans. Love it. Love referees. That refereeing, granted, the Titans were their own worst enemies. Jojo Fafita looked like a busted fucking arsehole out there. Yeah. That guy, all he wanted to do was hug the touchline. That's all he wanted to do. I honestly think that missed high shot. Now, granted, in these days, it is a high shot. Back in the mid-90s, it was just...
It's a penalty every day of the week.
Absolutely. Scott. Absolutely. That not being called, there was softer ones called throughout the course of the weekend. I think that obviously changes everything, because there was only, a minute to go. They're down by 2. They're in front. But, hey, hats off to Campbell. Didn't milk it. Didn't stay down. Straight up. Played the ball. Had he stayed down just that little bit, I think we go to Golden Point, and it's a complete different story.
Considering it was right in front, it was to go to Golden Point. Like, I've caught my son and my daughter high multiple times running through the kitchen, and I've been sent to the sin bin by my wife for terrible high shots on them when they're running amok. And if I can get penalised for that shit, surely they're getting penalised. Like, that is a penalty every day of the week. And that also is another. I'm really conspiracy theory at the moment, aren't I? I'm sort of I'm like one step off of 9/11.
I was about to say, let's talk about 9/11 or Matty McCann.
Yeah. Let's let that one out of this podcast. But I feel like 2 weeks in a row, like Brian To'o, like almost took old mate's head off in the corner. They don't get a penalty try. And then this time around, it's the other way around. And Campbell, he's so pissed off. So he obviously had the issue of Trainer Gate, kick to win the game. Then this head high, and you've just told me he's also paused his contract negotiation.
Yeah, puts contract talks on hold as rivals circle. But that's the headline. I think that's just baiting, because when you go in, it says, I've thought about it, but at the same time, I just want to play good football here. Well, he's in the wrong place for that. They don't play good football on the Gold Coast.
Yeah.
He said it hasn't crossed his mind. He'd love to stay there. He's just putting in good performance, and whatever happens, happens. I don't know.
Scotty, Titans, 16 points. They've had 5 wins.
Yep.
They've had their 3 buys, though. The Rabbitohs have still got another bye, which is going to hurt hurt the Titans' chance of getting them. So they're 2 points ahead of them, but they are 2 wins now officially ahead of them.
Mm-hmm.
The Knights have also had their 3 buys. So technically, the Knights, even though they are currently 15th, they're really 16th, and the Rabbitohs are ahead of the Knights. You've also got the Cowboys sitting there on 19. Now, the Eels, great win again this week after probably should have beat Melbourne last week, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously the Dragons, are they the favourites now for the competition after their last couple of weeks?
They're closer to the fucking 8 than they are the 7.
Correct, which we'll get to in a minute. But you got to go. Tigers and Eagles are now out of the race. The Cowboys couldn't play any worse. So they could be a smoky for it. They've only got 7 wins.
Well, and they play the Knights next week.
Right.
Yeah. So if the Knights win, they're going to leapfrog the Cowboys. But Cowboys are still 3 clear of the Titans, who play the Sharks. I feel like now the Titans basically, they've got the mince in the pan and they've got one hand on the spoon.
Yeah.
Like they've got plans. They're going to make a fucking fantastic bolognese with that spoon. But the only problem is I think we're a couple of weeks away from them actually getting a stir on.
It's a real
shame.
It's a real shame because if the Titans win today, and let's be honest, probably should have, do they then set up this incredible last couple of rounds where you have basically the Knights, the Rabbitohs, and the Titans would have all been on 6 wins, and that just gives this incredible run home. But maybe not to be. It's probably a 2-horse race. I know we had Dunk's message on YouTube when we said that Wayne has he got the first wooden spoon under wraps, and he mentioned AOB, which stands for Adam O'Brien. He's probably got it covered. So let me just tell you something else. A bit of a little sneaky bit. My uncle has unloaded on the Knights a multiple bunch of weeks ago. I've put more money into a home than he has on the Knights to win the wooden spoon. Like he has unleashed the wallet. So he is death riding the shit out of the Knights. And you know what? I might have to jump on that bandwagon because I'd love to see him win some cash. So maybe the Knights are the guaranteed spooners.
My question is, I want to know what odds he got it at.
I can ask you. They were good. It was after they'd won. Who did they beat? They beat someone. Oh, they beat the Dolphins. Right. And it was like, the Knights are coming good. And I think he jumped on. He got decent odds. They were not the worst. And he got some good odds. So he's going to, he might be able to buy a small village somewhere with the winning.
He's not a shy man on the punt, is he?
Well, I think the smallest bet I've ever seen him make, he put 50,000 on the nose of something he'd never heard of. So, he does like to bet with the big boys, but scares me a little bit. I used to always think back in the day when he used to ring me and say, he put this money on for me. I used to think, if I just keep this money and run the risk that the horse loses, I could be up at 50,000. He won't know anything.
You wouldn't have a mortgage, would you?
No. The biggest problem is the one day I decide to do that, it shits in. He's like, where's my 100 large? And I've got shit. You know what I mean?
I will say, what is there? There's 4 games to go. 8 points on offer. Just so you're aware, Manly's 8 points clear of the Titans, and we are shit.
Yeah, but you've won. You can't. Like,
you can.
No, I don't think so. You got 9 wins.
Yeah.
So you'd have to lose every single game.
Yeah.
The Titans have got to win.
Which is a fucking possibility.
That's definitely a possibility, but I don't think the Titans are going to win 4 from 4, mate. That's the issue. You keep on getting this competition ladder in reverse. This is not the top teams who can rattle off like the Panthers. What is it, like 8 in a row now, something like that?
Oh, yeah, they're killing it.
They're killing it, but that sets up a great one. But I think the real race now that we've got to start getting interested in is this top 8 run, because you've got 4 sides now. The very wounded hamstring-less Broncos.
The hamstrung.
They're very hamstrung at the moment. They've got 11 wins. You've got the Sharks on 12 wins because they've got that bye they got coming up. They've got the Titans this week. So as you sort of pointed out, that could be a nice little jump up for them. But then you got 8, 9, and 10 is where it gets interesting. You got the Dolphins, again,
Roosters.
Very hamstrung on 10 wins. Yep. Roosters, who are coming home, like if they finish 8th or 7th,
they'll cause some damage.
You don't want to be playing them in the finals. They are on fire.
They're fat.
They're fat, Chappelle. Now, they got the Bulldogs this week, so that's going to be an interesting one for the Roosters. But the Sea Eagles sitting in 10th, one win off, they've got the Tigers. So this is a really interesting top 8 finish. Who gets 7th? Who gets 8th? Who gets 9th? Who gets 10th?
Well, like we said pre-game, effectively, at the end of the next round, the Broncos can be sitting in 9th spot. That's a huge drop. The fact that it's now
Dolphins too, which is interesting because that one of those 3 sides, those 2 sides in the top, that back half of the 8 there, are going to lose next week.
Fuck. Tell you what, looking at that Broncos Dolphins game, if you're ever going to get on no try scorer first half, that's the game, I reckon. Pays 101 to 1.
Yeah. I think
on that.
Do you reckon they've just got no one? This is going to be like a leaky boat.
Yeah, well.
Could be 50-42 or something.
At halftime.
Yeah, at halftime. That's the other problem too. You know what you'd be jumping on if you could bet? How many hamstrings are done in this game? Broncos versus Dolphins. That's going to be the war of hamstring.
I don't think they've got enough hamstrings left in them to pull.
I'm selling them at the butcher shop through the week to try and get them back in.
All right. Before any ball is kicked next weekend, then, right now, I'm going to say, I think the Broncos miss the 8 now. Oh. Only because no Mammal Reynolds.
That's hard.
They've got Walsh.
And they've got Walsh who tried so hard. Like, God, he tries way too hard.
They've got hard. I mean, that's what he's getting paid to do, though.
But I mean, he's like, he's a very good player, but he's trying to throw these 400-meter cutout passes into the second row, and you're like, mate, just try a little bit less and just run the ball maybe, and you'll be fine. But they've got Hunt. I mean, they've still got a pretty good team.
I think right now, after watching them on the weekend, I think it's very difficult to even look past the Roosters. They'll make the 8. Yeah. Sharks, I think they'll finish the round in 6th.
Yep.
At the moment, I'm going to say Sharks take 6, Roosters take 7, Dolphins take 8.
Whoa.
That's now. Obviously, that may change next week, and I may turn around and go, look, I told you the Broncos won't miss the 8. They'll be if they come out and somehow pump the Dolphins, I'll sit here next Sunday and tell you I never doubted the Broncos. Always knew they'd make the 8. Always knew they'd be fine.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll play it by ear.
I'm not a surprise about any of that, to be fair.
Yeah.
It's interesting because you could make a case that the Warriors have really fallen asleep at the wheel, but they have got like one of the easiest schedules coming through. They should win all 4 games to end the year, and they could probably still get back in that top 4 because the Panthers have got 3 really tough games in a row. Storm this week. They got Bulldogs, Raiders, so that's going to be a really tough one to get through without losing one because technically the Panthers have jumped into 4th. That's a huge one.
You did call that weeks ago, but in saying that, if you want to finish in that top 4, you have to be beating Storm, Raiders, Dogs. Yeah. But like we said, knowing how good Penrith's going, they'll win their next 3 and then they'll come out and get towed up by the Dragons.
Yeah, that's so true. That's absolutely so true. Okay, moving to the EPL, mate. You've got a bit of a thing for the EPL right now, or at least getting ready to.
So next weekend, first game it's actually a 5 a.m. kickoff on Saturday morning. So, defending their title, Liverpool, they'll kick off the season against Bournemouth at Anfield. I think it'll be an emotionally charged match. There'll probably be some fans unveiling some things for Jota, stuff like that. I honestly think Liverpool, still calling it, they'll go back to back. But the championship, the league under, has started this weekend. And I tell you what, it's seen some results already. You've got a soft spot for Wrexham. They've conceded 2 late goals and lost their first game in the championship. Birmingham, who come up with them.
Deadpool. Why did he help them?
Birmingham, that come up with them, conceded an equaliser in the 95th minute, and then one of their scumbag fans tried to punch on with one of the Ipswich players.
One doesn't surprise me at all.
Yep. Jimmy's posted on his story this morning, Charlton's going up because they've won their first game 1-0 against Watford. It's that time of the year now where basically you're going to bed with your kids because you've got your alarm set for 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. You're getting up and like, that's it. You're going to work. Your work performance is already shit, but it's only going to get worse because you're tired. Your coffee consumption goes up.
Yep.
Your fucking sports bet account starts getting peppered with donations. Absolutely peppered. Because like you said last week, it's not now just a win-loss. You got to factor in a draw. Mate, it's that time of year now where it's a fucking brilliant time to be alive.
It is.
Football.
Kids start getting ratty because all of a sudden they're like, your wife's like, all right, Scott, time for the kids to go to bed and you're already asleep. So they start running amok. Yeah.
But just having a look next week, Man United, they're at home to Arsenal. How you feeling about that?
I don't feel confident ever.
Right.
Any Arsenal game I've ever watched in my life because I've had some fun in my life. I have had I'm a Newcastle Knights supporter very proudly, and you know I got to watch not live, but I got at the ground. But I was young enough to understand the '97 win, the 2001 Premiership. I decided to follow the Knicks at a young age. What a stupid decision that was. Never won anything. We've hardly even made the playoffs. And then I thought, I like Arsenal. I like their colours at a young age, so I started supporting them. And then I've just realised, mate, always get a ticket to the Champions League. But we can't be considered champions because we just love finishing second and third. And the best part is they could start the year. I think it was last year or the year before, they rattle off four or five straight wins to kick off the season, sitting beautifully in first. And then just started getting pumped by sides 15th, 16th, 17th. You just go, that is just... Oh, it's so frustrating to support. So against Man United, I reckon Arsenal will win. Against someone
Leeds the week after.
Against Leeds, get ready for a 3-0 drubbing. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. It's hard to take them seriously, to be fair.
Well, word of warning. Oh no, I should be all right next Sunday night because Aston Villa play Newcastle Saturday night 9:30. So I won't be too tired. We'll be all good. But we will have
to lackluster in this podcast because the vigor and the tenacity and the stamina that you bring this podcast, I'd hate to have that waver in the slightest.
I tell you what, it'll all come down to results next weekend. Yeah, I'm telling you, if Villa get pumped, we will not be discussing EPL at all next weekend.
Could you imagine if we got to like minute 23 of the podcast and we were like, oh shit, Scotty's not here. We've got our second co-host Jimmy in. Hey Jimmy.
Oh, fuck.
That's it.
Actually, he'd be all for that, to be honest with you.
Yeah, see, the problem with a guy like Jimmy is he's a Parramatta fan. You got to just remember that. So like we love Jimmy, but how much do you want to allow him to drive the truck?
You'd have 65 minutes talking about Mitchell Moses.
That's it. And you know that's a problem. Yeah, that's a big problem.
Tissue consumption will go up. KY jelly will go up.
That's it.
Yeah, no, that's a fucking fair point. That's a very fair point.
We do like to look at sports from around the world as well. And right now, no further, essentially is around the world. In Darwin, currently, as we record this podcast, it's 9:18 p.m. So the Australians have set the South Africans 179 runs to win. If you're listening to this, you're going to go, I know what happened. I know exactly what happened. And you don't need to know what we're saying. But we found it quite funny. The fact that the Aussies actually even got to set 179 in this T20 match is quite interesting because they came out and just were throwing their wickets away. It was worse than that initial sporting legend you were telling me before, the legend where we were, what was it, 6 down
for 26.
But I you know what this game has reminded me? Cricket season started early this year, the 10th of August, and we are now playing cricket. As we brought up last episode, it's not like just a smoke in the pan. No, there's T20 series against South Africa. Then there's the ODIs. Then we go to New Zealand and play the ODIs and T20s over there. Then we come back in September and play India here, T20s, ODIs, and then the Ashes starts in late November. So essentially, if you think cricket season hasn't really begun, it's well underway. It's absolutely started. and I'm here for it because I do love my cricket.
I told you pre-game backing Tim David for runs.
Yeah, you did. Why didn't you put that in your damn tip from last week?
I know.
Because I'm telling me all these great tips as they happen. It's like, yeah, great one, mate. I can tell you who won the Melbourne Cup after the races run. Nothing special about that, brother.
Oh,
show me the ticket, and then you can have the kudos.
All right, it's been a good night. Take care. See you next week.
I have been a bit hard on you tonight. No, but to your this is right because Tim David had only just come out to the wicket, and you sent me a text, and you went backing Tim David to score some runs tonight, and to be fair, scored 80 odd or close to 80 odd, 83. Was just bashing sixes everywhere, and we were 6 down for not many. Well, we were going okay, but like we had a lot of wickets down, and it was only like 6 or 7 overs done at that point. So to get Australia to almost 180 was an absolute masterstroke. But I have to play you this bit of audio, Scotty, because this sums up to me cricket season. We grew up in a time when Richie Benaud, Bill Laurie, Tony Gregg, off the mid of the butt. All these fantastic, 2 for 22s, all these kind of incredible lines. We lost them all. Obviously, some have passed. Some are not, they're too old to, I know we've got Chappelli. He's still around, but doesn't commentate anymore. But one person we do have, and he's a national treasure. He's a beautiful man. The Skull. We've still got Skull.
How good is he?
Can I play you this bit of audio? This is when Tim David just come to the crease. Australia are pretty well stuffed. They're going on a good click, but they're losing wickets. And listen to Skull's advice and listen to what happens next.
Righto.
When one of the best all-format bowlers in the world has got 2 for 1 in his second over, I think there's some respect has to be shown.
Yep, you're spot on, Skull. If that's respect, 2 steps down the pitch and then punching it over the rope, I would not like to see what disrespect is.
That's not the shot I would have played.
No.
Wow. He's advanced on Rabada. Before acceptances, he's off. And he's just nailed it 75 metres for 6.
You know your magnificent analysis will be all over social media within 3 minutes, Skull, around the planet.
How good is that? Skull
That is fantastic.
And to be fair, he was probably right on. Like, Australia needed to block 1. But nah, Tim David just went bang 6 and said, welcome. 2 for 1. The bowl was bowling 2 for 1 and just goes, I'll
in
take
his second over.
Yeah. I'll take you down to the ground for 6, thanks. I'll take the maximum. But that's 100% a Skull thing. So
brilliant.
That's what I'm looking forward to this summer. More Skull.
Oh, so no, he's not underrated. He's rated. He's cult following. His clips are fantastic. His dad jokes are they're enough to make any man smile and chuckle. Yeah. I'm with you. I wouldn't care if he commentated the game. We didn't see it. Basically like tuning into old ABC.
Yes.
I'd sit there and watch Skull on TV while he commentated a game I could not see. I'm all for that.
Oh, mate, he's incredible.
I love Skull.
So it's going to be very interesting to see how we go with this run chase. South Africa are currently going well in the power play there. They've scored 10 off the first over. So it's going to be an interesting one for Australia. It's a very quick outfield. So if you're listening to this, you'll know the outcome of that game. And it's going to be a fun little T20 series either way because, I mean, they're 2 really, really good sides. And we're getting ready for the World Cup next year. Let's hope Glenn Maxwell can get his shit into gear before that.
Hazelwood's been fucking hammered. 3 fours in his first over.
Yep. Not even the first over, and they're none for 12. So this could be a very short night in Darwin where they're playing. And they're 1 down. There you go. There's a win. We're commentating live on the Talking Sport Report. 1 for 12. Of course, you've already heard this, so you don't really give a shit, which is interesting. Another fun thing that we have to talk about, Scotty, before we go any further is fun crowd things. Right now, I don't know if you've been following it, but in the WNBA, over the course of a good week and a half, there's been dildos being launched onto the court during play.
How good is it?
It's very unique. I mean, it's just so random. And I remember there was one of the WNBA players that did reach out sort of saying, hey, can we
Can
stop?
you not?
This is really, really disrespectful. And the next night she was hit on the leg.
My question is, what are they doing with them after?
Well, the other question is, how do they get them in? They're not small. They're not small. They are the big ones. Not that I know much about them.
When you say big ones, I hope they're carrying off these things that are like 3 inches in length. You're like, oh, you see the size of that bastard? It's a big one.
And
That's
they're
a big
fluoro
one.
green. The one I saw was fluoro green. Is like,
Is there any big veiny bastards? Like,
essentially, yeah, they're all like that. They are all. They're Johnny Holmes. They're big boys. They're big boys. But it's unbelievable. They've been getting hit, and it sort of made me think because I love when like this is a little disrespectful. I agree, and I think there has always been dumb shit happen at sporting games. I don't necessarily think this is about the women's code. I think this is just a dumb thing where they're obviously playing. Someone's done it, thought it was funny, and then they've cracked the shit, so they've done it more. It's that old thing. Like you've got kids, Scotty. When you tell your kid don't do that, what do they go and do?
They fucking do it.
Yep.
Fucking do it.
They say do it. Grind your kids. So them getting upset has just made more raining of dildos. But it made me sort of think about what crowds have done over the years. And you found a couple of really interesting ones that I thought you raised.
I found some good ones. So this one started in the 50s with Detroit Red Wings for NHL, ice hockey.
Yep.
It originated when a couple of brothers threw an octopus onto the ice, symbolizing the 8 wins needed to win the Stanley Cup at the time. And it's kind of since just progressed now. Some fans do it for luck, which I found same thing. How are you sneaking a fucking octopus into a game, fucking an NHL game, like security? And you know yourself, since 9/11 in America, security's tight. Like but I guess at the end of the day, it's not really a fucking weapon, is it?
No, it's not. Oh god, that guy stunk.
Yeah. So there's that. Same thing, ice hockey. If a player scores a hat trick, they throw their hats onto the ice. Now that would be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, that would.
There's another team that throw plastic rats onto the ice because pre-game, Florida Panthers, I think they had a rat run through the dressing room. One of the players killed the rat with his stick, then went out and scored 2 goals in that game. So now for luck, they throw fucking plastic rats on. A couple of others, not as bad, no cleanup involved. Boston at Fenway Park, they're renowned for singing Sweet Caroline.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What's the soccer one in Australia where do they turn their back on the pitch?
Yes. Yeah.
What's sure it's like a minute, isn't it? Like a certain minute of the game, they turn their back on the players and clap and party and do all sorts of random shit.
You know what? I did look this up before the show, and then when we had like an absolute shit ton, I kind of opted away from it. Now that you've pulled it on me, I now need to look this. Is it a Poznan celebration? It's where you turn your back to the game in the 80th minute, link arms, and you all jump in unison.
And it's so fun. I love that because you know what? It was so funny when the opposition or someone would score and they know you might go there for a 1-0 draw or 1-0 win, and the one goal was when you were facing the wrong way, you idiot.
But yeah, there's some fucking wild ones out there. But then there's some, like, you know yourself, the Viking clap.
Yeah, the Canberra Raiders have done that. Well, they stole that from Vikings overseas, right? Who stole that from the Vikings way back in the day, I guess. So everyone's a stealer in some form, I guess. I had one for you too, Scotty. This is reminded me of back in the day when the great man Shane Warne was a part of cricket, and I've got some footage here. So this is Warne coming onto the ground. It's England versus Australia at the MCG, and they were getting pissed about something Bay 13, and they're throwing bottles and throwing all sorts of rubbish onto the pitch. You've got the great Bill Laurie in commentary, and Warne comes out, and this is when Warnie's fat Warne. So he really waddles out, but he's just folk legend. Here he comes.
He's going to put the helmet on.
He puts the helmet on.
Polo.
It's not funny, really, but what a personality, Shane Warne.
He goes down to bay 13 with the Australian helmet on.
He's side by side with Alex Stewart.
Yeah, that's Alex Stewart there.
Oh, look at that Carlton United series.
Saying, stop throwing, stop throwing. And they cheer and they stop.
It's very sad.
Stopped.
Yeah.
And then hail the great Warnie.
And then he offers the helmet to the security guard who's literally, imagine having that guy's job.
That's fantastic.
You are at bay 13 and they're throwing everything under the sun onto the field. And you're there going, I can't stop this and I can't leave.
I think honestly you would have taken that helmet for sure.
Yeah.
But then again, that's just a clear indication of what kind of a king that man was in Victoria.
Oh, absolutely.
That was brilliant.
They literally stopped because the great man said, stop throwing. And they were like, we'll do you anything for you, Warnie. We'll do anything.
Sorry, mate.
But that guy next to Alex Stewart, if you come down here any closer, we're going to throw a bottle at you.
That's fantastic.
So I guess the moral of the story is, this is not the first time it's happened. The dildos
won't be the last.
It won't be the last. But we will have to keep watching Dildo Gate, Scotty, because you might get some really good tip ideas for your next present for your wife. Or for your mother, maybe.
Oh, she's listening tonight.
Oh, Tess.
Far out. But don't forget, you've been invited to her 60th. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Gift idea.
There's a gift. Tess, just act surprised when you pull it out, and don't worry when I walk in with this really gigantic box that's wrapped.
Just take the fire extinguisher off the wall. That'll do.
We're not doing the comment club this week, but of course, if you do make a comment or on any of our social posts throughout the week, we generally do come on here and read them out. You can email us anytime if you want to get a comment on the show. talkandsportreport@gmail.com. We wanted to wrap up tonight with Scotty's tip of the week. Let me just set the scene. Scotty gets $1,000 of our money every week to spend on a bet. Last week, he put $1,000 down on a 4-leg multi, the Storm to win, the Raiders to win, the Titans to win, the Eels to win of this weekend. We are currently down $3,750. How did we go, mate?
You know how we went. We covered it off earlier when the Titans were fucking blatantly robbed. We're down another 1,000. Down another 1,000. But
that's unfortunate because that was the one I was worried about. But the rest all comes through quite easily, right?
Yeah, but you don't get paid for 3 from 4.
That's true. Unless you cash out. You didn't even get the chance to cash out because the last
no one cashes out. Ask Jimmy,
you
don't cash out.
3,750, which is now 4,750 because of the fact that we have to put 1,000 on this week.
Yep, but this week puts us in the green.
Oh, why is that?
Again, because it's returned to nearly $6,500. So I was wrong. I told you that I was getting on Melbourne this week. I was wrong. Instead, we've opted for the Dolphins to beat Brisbane.
Okay. Yep.
That's going to be leg 1.
Yep.
Then we're going to make life real tough. We're bringing in the EPL.
Oh.
We're going Liverpool to beat Bournemouth.
We don't like the EPL for the simple fact that it makes it even hard. We can't get a 50-50 at the moment, yet you're now bringing in the draw. So now we're out of 3. Okay. All right. So
I'm confident.
All right. So you want Bournemouth?
Bournemouth? No, we're going Liverpool to beat Bournemouth.
Oh, Liverpool. I was going to say, geez, you're really going down if you did more.
We're going City to beat Wolves.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, this one actually is a concern. We're going Chelsea at home to beat Crystal Palace.
Okay.
That, with the old odds boost and our 1,000 on it, is going to return us $6,460.
That's good. We'll be in the green for the first time ever in this Scotty's tip of the week.
Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Long way to go.
Very long way.
You watch. It's gonna be a fucking 95th minute equaliser or some shit.
Oh, don't say that.
I know. That's all right, though. We're coming back. We're
Coming
coming
back.
back.
Right. We've got faith in you. I mean, today, I wish you just put $1,000 on Tim David to score the most runs for Australia. You'd have.
Wonder what he was paying.
That
He
would have been
paying a lot.
That would have been paying all right. I reckon that would have
Reckon?
been. It wouldn't have been top, but I mean, surely he'd have been paying half decent to actually get a decent return on that one.
Should have just got money on the Sappos to win.
Well, yeah. As recording this over 3-1 for 28. I mean, 51 from 102 balls is definitely very, very doable.
Current run rate 9.33, required 8.88.
Why are you talking about this? Because it's already over.
Yep, that's a good point.
That's a very, very good point. Well, that wraps up our podcast for another week. Scotty,
Beautiful.
I love spending Sundays with you.
It's fantastic, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Isn't
great.
it? It's good fun. Keeps you out of bed.
We're obviously really searching still for those great local sporting stories. So if you do have a great local legend, great story of you kicking ass or someone you know kicking ass, or of course the absolute failure legends, someone who just can't just take a trick, but he's a local legend in your area, talkingsportreport@gmail.com. We'll chuck a few videos up throughout the week on our socials. So follow us at Instagram, TikTok, and on YouTube, where we put the full podcast video and all at Talking Sport Report. Until next week, Scotty, it's been an absolute bloody pleasure.
As always, have a fantastic week. Talk to you soon.